Great to have you join us on TMI as we extray the 2023 presidential poll, looking at the Muslim ticket. A lot has happened a few days back where the presidential candidate of APC announced the running mate and the person of Shetima Kazim, who is a two-term governor of Borno State and a senator. And that, again, being a Muslim alongside with the presidential candidate is really causing a lot of ripples, just like raising some comparative presentation from the other political parties like the Labour Party, the People's Democratic Party. The Muslim ticket of the APC seems to be a very, very different tone from what other political parties really panned out with. And this, joining me, is Ahmed Mamadou from the United States via Zoom. Ahmed Mamadou is a citizen of Nigeria and also America. And good to have you join me, Ahmed. Good morning.
Good morning, Philip. Good morning, viewers. Thank you for having me. Okay,
a lot is happening, and I remember vividly that at the time we also discussed this issue about the Muslim ticket, but now dusts are being raised and Nigerians are reacting over the Muslim ticket. And it seems the Christian religion is threatened by this. I don't know. What do you have to say? What are your thoughts in this regard?
Well, it's normal because there has been heightened religious intolerance in Nigeria, that the emergence of a Muslim ticket, so to speak. I really do not like to use the word, but that's the current political lexicon that describes the situation, Muslim ticket. And so there has been kickback from the Christian population that it's an unbalanced ticket. But what we have to put in mind, and the matter of fact, is simply that at this point in time of our national growth, we need to start looking beyond the things that will inhibit national cohesion and growth. And one of those things is the constant emphasis on the religion of the president and the vice president. The simple question to ask is, what has President Buhari's presidency as a Muslim done for the Muslim population? Likewise, what has Vice President Osibanjo's vice presidency done for the Christian population? Where there is growth, it is growth, national growth. That's what we are looking for. Quite all right, these Christians feel as if they've been shortchanged in this, but they have to look beyond the fact that those offices represent the majority of Nigerians. And at this point in time, we are looking for the best interest, the best hands on deck to move the country forward.
All right, considering the current state of the nation, do you think the Muslim ticket is a good selling point for the APC?
I think we should de-emphasize this Muslim, Christian, blah, 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 blah. Look, let's step back in history. This is my own personal opinion. It's not the opinion of anybody else. We are being given the chance to put to rest the ghost of June 12, 1993. This is June. We are now going into 2023. Look at the coincidence. Look at the coincidence that the presidential flag bearer at that time was from the southwest. The one today is from the southwest. The one at the vice president from the other time was from the northeast. The same thing for the one now. We're talking of southwest Yoruba, and northeast Kanuri and northeast Kanuri. June 12, 1999, now we are talking of 2023. We are being given the chance to put to rest the ghosts of the past, some of the mistakes that we've made as a nation that has not allowed us to progress properly, to not progress democratically. Let us look at this as another chance to set some of these things right. That is the way I see it. Let us continue to de-emphasize Muslim, Christian. It doesn't do anything for anybody.
So in your opinion now, it's not a wrong idea, in your opinion?
I made that clear, that it's my opinion.
Okay. Ahmed Mamadou, I think we should look at the fragile peace that Nigeria has at present and the challenge we've been having over terrorist attacks, over our religious lines, divisions that have been coming up along religious lines. Nigeria seems to be a hotbed in terms of insecurity. Don't you think if you say or you support this Muslim ticket, don't you think it could worsen the insecurity in Nigeria?
In what way precisely, Philip? Are you saying that there are no terrorists on every side? Look, a terrorist is a terrorist. A fundamentalist is a fundamentalist. There is no difference between a Muslim fundamentalist and a Christian fundamentalist. Now, it is my opinion, it is my studied opinion, that even the Christians are probably even going to get it better this time, because there will be an emphasis on the Muslims to prove that they are not being biased against the Christians. And it's going to be better for them. Talking about insecurity, look, let us be factual with ourselves. There is no part of the world that is not suffering from insecurity. The insecurity that you are suffering is as a consequence of the worsening economic indices occasioned by a whole year of the world being shut down by COVID-19, and then shortly after a war in Russia versus the other place. And all of these things are creating economic tensions worldwide. These things are not unique only to Nigeria. It's a whole the whole world is under constant pressure. Just the other day, the British Prime Minister was forced to resign. There's unrest in Sri Lanka ongoing as we speak. The United States, where we are now, is constantly under turmoil. Everybody is on edge. So it is not something that is unique to Nigeria. It's unfortunate that my people and our people have to suffer all these things, but it is not unique to any part of the world.
Ahmed Mohammed, let me bring you to a point before the President Muhammadu Buhari administration began, and the issues of insecurity that really troubled Nigeria and all that happened. Now, it was like fresh air when President Buhari came on board, and it was expected that his administration would do the nitty-gritty about tackling insecurity. And now you made mention of the vice president being a Christian and what has really been a benefit to the Christian population as the vice president. But looking at this, if nothing has really come up logically in a way of tackling insecurity, bringing about development as we have it now, will it not be worse off if it becomes a Muslim ticket? That's the thing.
Okay, Philip. I always like us to put things in the proper perspective. Before you even mention it, let me bring to your attention that there was a jailbreak in KUJE prisons. Now, do you know why there is such an uproar because of that jailbreak? The reason there is such an uproar is because for the past 7 years, this administration has created a secure cordon in Abuja that was totally not there before this time. If you cast your memory back, before this administration took over, there were military roadblocks in Abuja. Just to mention a few, there was 2011 United Nations bombing in Abuja. Let's mention 2014 Yanya bombing. Then you remember 2012 Independence Day bombing. All of these things were in Abuja. So the reason there is such an uproar now is because for the past 7 years, the Buhari administration has managed to secure the territory of Abuja. Let's even expand our discussion outside of Abuja. Prior to this administration, there were 25 local governments in the hands of the insurgents in the northeast. 2 million people were displaced from their homes. They've returned to their homelands now. What Nigerians fail to see is this. When you cut off the head of a snake, little parts grow up. As the insurgents have been moved away from the territories of the northeast, they found solace in other parts of Nigeria, which is normal. And it is guerrilla warfare. It is not won because these people are not regular combatants. They don't wear uniforms. They mingle with the general population and create havoc, create anarchy, and create instability. That is why the president came out and said, look, this security challenge that we're having is something that has to do with the government and the people. You bring the information and the government will act on it. Make no mistake about this, Philip. And I want your viewers to pay attention to this simple fact.
Thank you, Ahmed Mohammed. Ahmed Mohammed is a political analyst, and he is joining us from the United States of America. And well, why I allow you to relax a bit before we bring more fusillades of questions at you. Let's quickly make welcome our another public affairs analyst with us physically in the studio. He is a human rights activist and, of course, senior pastor of Sword of Liberation Bible Church. Bishop Austin Igbasa, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, viewers.
Well, you've been following the trends. What has been happening in Nigeria as a result of the Muslim ticket, the reactions from Nigerians and all that has to do with that? Why at the end of Ahmed Momodu from the United States, he's saying that a Muslim ticket is home and dry, and that there shouldn't be any fears. But I don't know if your thoughts are same.
Well, I cannot align with him. I'm a bishop, I'm a priest, and you don't expect me to agree with him. Because you cannot tell me that when you check Nigeria Constitution by 1999 Constitution of Nigeria, Muslim was mentioned 28 times, Islam was mentioned 10 times, Christ, Church, and Christian was not mentioned. So when you look at the appointment of Mr. President from 2015 to date, if you study the trend of the election of 2015, 2019, you can decide, you can begin to decode to know that Nigeria election goes by division, ethnicity, religious differences. Now, you look back, you see that all the appointment and the body language of Mr. President does not appreciate the impact of Christian. He's always somebody that wants to deceive himself. If you look at the 27 Security Service Chief, I want you to mention to me how many Christians are among them. Now, the country itself appreciates the place of different tribes. So you cannot tell me any political party for this 2023 that even presented a presidential candidate that is a Muslim is also a cheating to Christian. Because in 1999, after the tenure of Obasanjo walked through thick or thin to make sure that it is a Muslim president that takes over from him. All of us knew what happened when the primary election of PDP was at the peak. Dr. Peter Odile was leading far than late Sheikh Musa Yaradua. But all of us knew what happened that night because Obasanjo knew that it would be a bad thing to hand over to a Christian. And he made sure that even when Sheikh was not fine, he was all the way campaigning. We remember the campaign in Lagos where they have to put a call through to let Sheikh Musa Yaradua. So any party presenting, the first cheating is that when you present a Muslim president for this 2023, any party that presents a Christian, a Muslim
vice president.
President. No, I'm talking of president. Okay. Is a cheating because we are just going to wrap up with 8 years of a Muslim president. So what's supposed to be that a Christian should be the president. So any party that is presenting a Muslim as president is a first.
It's already robbing the Christian population.
The Christian population of Nigeria. And secondly, to go further and now pick your vice president slot as a northerner and as a Muslim is the second cheating to Christian community. For goodness sake, it is not only Muslims that occupy this country. All of us knew what we are talking about right now. We knew the appointment of Mr. President, the peculiarity, even the issues that have to do with even corruption and all the rest of them. So nobody should come up and say Muslim ticket because it's a slap on the face of Christian in this country. Because you cannot tell us that we don't have a competent Christian among the northerners. And all the time that the southerner Christian, the northerner Christian has voted for a Muslim president, we believe that we are one. That was why the Christian community does not see the difference between it, and we presented it. If you look at 2019, all of us relax our mind and say, oh, a Muslim man must come in 2015. And that is why you see that even the South themselves have to pull up from the system and allow it to be a northern something, 2019, okay. Northern stuff. Yes. That this is what we want for the now. So for somebody to tell us that Muslim ticket is something that is clear and you can go, it's a slap on us. Because I give you an example. When Lagos came up, I was one of those who stood in Lagos that any party that presented a Muslim governor would not have the way, and they have to bring somebody. Even other party, everybody everybody have to bring in Christian, because you can't tell us that we are not part of Nigeria, that it is only out of because you needed a vote. The vote that make the other Mr. Buhari president of Nigeria, is it the vote of Muslim alone? Does the Christian community not count in Nigeria? You want to tell me that it is 1999 when we look at the appointment and we see that every appointment is one-sided?
Right, so
even when a state like Ekiti have to, their governor have to go for leave the federal cabinet and go and contest. Who was used to replace them? When we have a situation of the former finance minister that was relieved of her duty, who was used to replace her position? So nobody should come up and talk about that one, because the first teaching is for any party, any political party, bringing a Muslim as presidential candidate is a slap on the Christian community.
Well,
not to talk of going further.
That was his opinion.
I'm not saying. I'm telling you the opinion of Christian community in Nigeria.
Okay.
Because you cannot rule it out that you only have Muslim. You cannot rule it out that it is only Muslim community
okay, now.
you have in Nigeria.
But don't you think with the current state we are as a nation, what we need is someone who can take us out of this poor economy and bring us back to our lost glory. So don't you think, away from the religion of the individual, we should just look at the competency of the person?
Let us leave the issue of competence. Every Christian is competent. And you cannot tell me today that all the secret, we are talking about jailbreak. We are talking about all the things that has happened. Look at the people that headed this department. The security architecture of a country cannot be ruled by people from one side of the country, because it's a cheating. You can't be a father of a house and you decide that everything you are going to have in this house belongs to your second son. So every one of us, we voted here when it was Obasanjo's time. The Christian came out, they voted. When it was Sheikh Yaradua, everybody voted. Even the Christian voted when they even know that the man is not medically fit. But this is the person that has been presented, and everybody we want it to be that
right, balance.
We balance it. You cannot be talking of one side of the religion. I'm just telling you now that the Constitution of Nigeria allows Sharia court, but does not allow ecclesiastical court. How do you put it side by side? And you said you are balancing the equation, looking at all what has happened to us, even as Christians. Something happened in our here. Did you see our president there personally? The number of people that died in our church here. What happened in the same evening? Don't you see our president taking dinner with APC leaders? Do you see that one in other clime where you expected the president to be in our personally, with the number of people that died, with the number of people that were wasted in the church? So with all what is happening, and we saw the body language of Mr. President, you want the country to presenting a Muslim presidential candidate of any party is the first teaching.
I'll come back to you, Bishop
and take a vice presidential slot, and you want to tell us that Christian does not have a say.
I'll come back to you, Bishop Basan, but don't forget, an election has not come up yet.
You don't.
The electoral umpire has not said that the electoral has won the election.
They are controlled by Mr. President. So the electoral umpire today are controlled by Mr. President.
I'll come back to you.
All of us saw the election.
I'll come back to you, Bishop Basan.
The first election of Ekiti. We saw the second one.
Okay. Ahmed, you've been following what Bishop Basan has been saying. Now, this shows that Nigerians, mostly the Christian population, are not really feeling happy about this development. Now, he made mention of the president in President Muhammadu Buhari being a Muslim, and it's expected that to balance the equation that the next president should have been a Christian. But I don't know. Don't you think this is a very sensitive issue by what he just brought on board concerning balancing the religion in the presidency?
It's a very sensitive issue indeed, and I feel the bishop's sympathies, but he's exaggerating a little bit. Permit me to say that, because he cannot be speaking for the majority of the Christian population of Nigeria. That is, let's put that to rest for once and for all. Secondly, let us clarify some things. Obasanjo had the intention to remain as president of Nigeria.
So I didn't tell you. He did not tell you that one. You cannot preempt Obasanjo. I'm just talking about how the man ended his tenure.
Okay, Ahmed Mamadou has the floor, please.
Maintain your dignity. I didn't interrupt you. Now, Obasanjo had every intention to stay as president of Nigeria. Yar'Adua was his fallback plan. And Yar'Adua barely scraped with his life. Now, let's even go to the other things that the bishop mentioned before I come to the question that you asked me. The chief of defense staff is Lucky Irabo. Lucky Irabo is from Delta State. He's a Christian. The chief of army staff is Yahaya. He's from Kaduna State. He's a Muslim. The chief of naval staff is Gambo. He's from Kano State. He's a Muslim. The chief of air staff is Abao. He's a Christian. They are balanced. The service chiefs are balanced. Some of these misconceptions that we have is simply because we refuse to inform ourselves properly. Let us be clear on what is going on.
Apart from Amaosa, can you give me, out of the 27 security service chief, the person that is a Christian, apart from Amao,
if you
can
want
you point to me one person?
If you want to be properly educated, the service chiefs are only 4. Defense staff, chief of army staff, chief of naval staff, chief of air staff. Those are the service chiefs. Chief of police is not a service chief. The rest of them are not service chiefs. Don't confuse the issues.
Okay, but Ahmed Mamadou again, why you are yet to react to the question? Why you are yet to react to the question? Just
the issue of chief.
Just let me guide you, Ahmed Mamadou. Why you are yet to react to the question? You still have the floor. I also want you to react to what is said concerning the attack, where Christians were feared killed, and the absence of the president.
Not even absence, even the dinner of that same day.
Unfortunately, we are allowing sentiments to ride us. There is such a thing.
Brother, if your family is in
Ahmed Mamadou has the floor. Ahmed Mamadou has the floor, please.
Talking like this if you have a relation.
Please, Ahmed Mamadou has the floor. Whatever you have to say, wait until the pendulum swings back to you.
Pastor, you need
Ahmed Mamadou, go ahead.
to exhibit some of the things that you say you are exhibiting. This is unfair. Allow me to speak, please. Now, there is what is known as presidential movement. The president is not allowed to be in the vicinity of an attack within 48 hours of that attack if security clearance has not been given, whether he likes it or not. You may have anything against President Buhari, but there are security services that will not allow him to attend to a place where there was a terrorist attack. This is a matter of fact. Now, the other questions that you asked, let us be sincere with ourselves.
But there was a terrorist attack in the KUJE prison break, and the president was there. How do you balance the equation, Ahmed?
When was he there? When was he there? To answer the question.
Is he there after 48 hours?
48 hours. There's 48 hours curfew. When was he there? Was he there immediately after? No.
Okay, but aren't we supposed to see that also in our war, maybe after 48 hours, like
it's
you said?
48 hours. Mr. President was not in KUJE after 48 hours.
Ahmed, go ahead.
Are you separating the presidency by saying the vice president cannot attend on the behalf of the president? If the vice president understands that the people are part of his constituency and he goes there to visit, what is wrong with that? Now, the bishop has been giving examples of places where there is Muslim. Edo State has a sizable Muslim population in Edo North. How many times has a Muslim been the governor of Edo State, or deputy governor for that matter? And have the Muslims risen up to make any noise? Now, let us be clear on what is going on. It is a political contest, whether you like it or not. Political parties are looking for the most number of votes. If they feel that the best number of votes will come from the Northeast, and that representation is what is going to give them those number of votes, then that's what they'll do. You are in a democracy. If you feel that they've chosen wrongly, then vote for the person that has chosen to suit your own whim and caprice. It's as simple as that. If you feel that Atiku has done very well, then you vote for Atiku. There's no need to overheat the population.
Thank you, Ahmed Mamadou.
I wanted to ask him something.
Thank you, Ahmed Mamadou.
Okay, with the emergence of Senator Shettima, what do you think Nigerians should expect?
If
they win.
Otherwise, election has not been conducted.
What do you think they should expect?
If you look at the antecedents of, has any of you been to Maiduguri or Borno State? No, I have. I was in Borno State about 3 years ago. Governor Shettima handed over to Governor Zulum. Zulum is currently probably the most performing governor in Nigeria. As at the last count, when I went there 3 years ago, Shetima handed over to Zulu a 400 housing unit complex in the center of Maiduguri. They are rebuilding Maiduguri from scratch. It's important that Nigerians leave their comfort zone and go and see places that are outside of their comfort zone to know exactly what is going on. It will surprise you to know that there is a sizable Christian population in Borno State. APC won that election by 90% in Borno State. There's a sizable Christian population in Adamawa State, where Atiku is from. There's a sizable Christian population in Nasarawa State. It will surprise you to know that there are even Fulanis who are Christians. Let us de-emphasize all these Christian, Muslim, Christian. It is the political elite of Nigeria.
Thank you, Amin Momodu. Thank you so much, Amin Momodu. Well, Bishop Austin, you heard what he said. Again, Nigerians are saying that for this development in the All Progressives Congress, that the All Progressive Congress just shot their foot. And in the sense that the voting population are going to decide exactly what to do in terms of which candidates they want to vote for, what party. Do you feel safe?
Definitely, if APC have looked at their performance, you know that in the, there's a parable in my place. They said, when every masquerade has a PA. You have every masquerade in my place have a PA. Now, your PA is the one that will rate you that, oh, out of all the masquerade, you have danced very, very well. And they said, there's a parable in my place, said, if your own masquerade as a PA have danced very well in the midst of plenty masquerade, they said you'll be jumping or you'll be so excited because you are not the one dancing, but you are the PA, you are the image maker of that particular masquerade. If APC know that they have performed very woefully and they have taken us far behind from where we were in 2015. Now, I give you an example. This morning, I just asked somebody to bring rice for me because there was no rice in my house yesterday. I remember how much I bought it then. I remember the places we go. Just like my brother was talking there just now. There are places in this country that are controlled by Boko Haram. It's only somebody that does not have the fear of God that will say today, authoritatively, that there are no local government that are under the control of Boko Haram, that are perfectly under the control of Boko Haram. And when you go through the statistic, I'm a security expert, if you go through the statistic of the number of officers that have died between 2015 and now, you cannot compare it with the number of officers that died from 2010 to 2015. The officers, the number of widows that are raised. In the history of Nigeria, we have for the first time where Widows Association of Soldiers came out and said, federal government, why are you forgiving the people that killed our husband and make us to become widows? They raise up. It has never happened. So what I'm telling you is that if they felt they have done well, I think that some of the, when you have the audacity of saying one part of Nigeria does not count as far as you are concerned. Some people are the bulk of the population that you needed to vote. One religion is not important because they don't have competence. It's only the other religion that have people that are competent. What we are seeing today was what El-Rufai started in Kaduna State. It has never happened. It has been as Kaduna South, Kaduna North, everybody in Kaduna, anybody that have been in the North, we know that Kaduna South, Kaduna North, everybody maintain themselves. We have Christian, we have Muslim in the North. The Northern Christian come to the South to do business. Because when people are talking just now, we're talking about Maiduguri. I was there recently. So there's no part of the North you want to talk about that personally I have not been there. Okay. And there is no church today as I'm sitting down talking here, including Catholic Church, Anglican Church, that have CFO in the whole of the North. Any church that have CFO should come out and tell me that they have CFO, including Winners Chapel, in all part of the North. So what I'm saying is that even our Christians that are there.
You mean by that they are not given a permanent location?
You are just like somebody that is renting canopy. No matter the church you have there, it's just like you hire a canopy. And you know, when we have other religion elsewhere here, we open our door for them. I think the biggest mosque today is in Ebonyi State. Ebonyi State is not a Muslim ruled state, but all the same, it shows about the hospitality. Now, what I'm bringing out is that if they saw the woeful performance of this government, we have a jailbreak. We are in the heart of Abuja. It happens, and there was no resistance. In a place where we release those number of Boko Haram fighters, and we were told by Minister of Justice recently that they have 400 Boko Haram that are, their file have been prepared to go to court. We are yet to see those 400 now that are said to be domiciled in KUJE prison. And it is not an issue. This same government will have NDA attack. General being taken out of NDA. It's not a shame. You know, when you have a good image maker who are trained to lie all the days of their life. Now, when you attack an army NDA, you have attacked the university of the army. When the convoy, the advanced team of Mr. President with journalists inside have been attacked, and we say it's not an issue, and we say it is everywhere, it's peaceful. When we have the traditional ruler of his village being taken, and we say it's not an issue, that the man has sorted the problem that is around. Thank God the man said yesterday that I'm eager to go. If you have done well in a place, and you have done excellently well, I'm not sure you'll be eager to leave a place where you have done well. The promises you made, have you fulfilled it? Well,
no, his term is already ending, so he just said he's eager to leave after the end of his term, which is gentlemanly.
You don't need a timekeeper to tell you as a good lecturer that your time in the class is up. Now your time is up. Is that what you said before you took over the class? Have you done that? Have we seen the difference? All the jamboree and propaganda that were used to rubbish Jonathan, that Nigeria is saying, that's why I say statistic now. And that's why any man, any person in Nigeria today who is messing up with the lives of people that are dying on daily basis and down-toning it, maybe God will give them experience to have their junior brother, their junior sister to be part of if you have lost somebody, see, I have lost people. Even in this, what we are talking about, officers, I have lost people that today they are burdened, their family are burdened to people like us. So when we see people who open their mouth and just say nothing is happening, everywhere is sorted out. If you have been to a place where people are crying, somebody have a corner in their family, and the corner is just taken off on something that is avoidable. And we have so far to handle that
we actually sympathize with you over the loss of maybe
our family. It's not an issue.
Let's stretch it a little bit further. What areas do you think the incoming government should focus its attention on?
Number one,
2023.
Yeah, 2023. I feel that number one, any government coming in should focus on our INEC. INEC is the first place we must focus our attention on. Just like I'm telling you.
So INEC is begging for attention.
I'm telling you, even those who are bold,
not to be power sector.
Let us look at INEC. Even those who are boasting, those who are making selection of Muslims.
So are you by that saying that the electoral process could be a fraud?
Oh my goodness! You see, people sit there in their house now, and they are telling you some people are already picking their ministers. They are picking ministers now when the election has not taken place.
But it's an independent body.
You ask yourself,
it's an independent body.
Independent is the INEC.
Okay.
How did they get their fund? How were they appointed? Have you taken the time to look at the appointment of this man that is there now? That the act that established INEC said INEC must not come from any area where a sitting president is coming from. And the history of Nigeria, President Buhari is the first person to appoint someone. I give an example. If you want to run it from FEDECO, I will be mentioning their leaders to you. If you want to start it from 1999, late Justice Ephraim Akpata, from there to Dr. Ebeg Gubadia, from Dr. Ebeg Gubadia to Professor Maurice Iwu, from Professor Maurice Iwu, Jonathan came on board and picked a man he has never known before. This is the first time we are having a man speaking the same dialect with the sitting president. The act that established INEC made it clear so that the man will be an unbiased umpire. You remember this same chairman of INEC introduced what we call inconclusive election. That was his own slogan. He came up with that. We have never had it before. Inconclusive election until people shouted to the roof. And when you look at it, any government coming today must work on it. Shehu Yaradua said the election that brought me to power, he said was not a free and fair election. And the man set up a team to start from the election. That was why we have the Justice Ways panel who are enumerated how we can make our election better. And from there, Yaradua pick it. That's why that death didn't allow him to carry that what he has in mind. Jonathan came on board and started from there. And we introduced the card reader. But today, we are seeing what the card reader is doing and all the rest of that thing. Then the arrangement was that INEC was giving money so that we can begin to send our results electronically. But when INEC came on board after the tribunal, they denied that they don't have a server. So anybody coming on board should be somebody that will start to work from INEC.
Okay, thank you.
Because
I'll come back to you to round off on your points, and let's join Ahmed Mamadou again to round off on his point. But quickly, you have the opportunity to react to what Bishop Austin Igbasan said. But I also want you to respond to the KUJE jailbreak, the challenges of what transpired. And then the president said that he is disappointed in the intelligence system. The president seems to be shocked by what happened. And Nigerians are asking, we've had a lot of jailbreaks in the time of President Muhammadu Buhari. And it was expected that there should be some reshuffle. There should be some officers resigning for not being competent enough or for negligence of duties. But at this point, the president, who holds everything it takes to determine the fate of those who are in their offices, said he was shocked and disappointed in the intelligence system. Do you see that as an embarrassment?
Okay, first of all, Philip, let me say that I am thoroughly disappointed in the language and the speech of the bishop. I'm thoroughly disappointed that the political elite is still going down the road that will lead us to nowhere as we are trying to build a nation. He said there is nowhere in the north you can buy land and own it. Darius Dixon Ishaku is a Christian. He is the governor of Taraba State. Taraba is a predominantly Christian state in the middle of the north. Are you telling me that even if there is nowhere else that you can buy land, Taraba State does not have Christians that have CFO? We need to be careful with the things that we say and how we put it across.
But Ahmed, don't forget, he's talking about church locations, churches, the locations of churches, not personal residence.
I'm not talking of personal residence. That is predominantly a Christian state, that the governor is a Christian. His name is Darius Dixon Ishaku. There is no CFO for any church in Taraba State. Is that what you are saying? We need to be careful with the things that we say. We are the political elite. We need to be educated. We cannot come out and lie.
Okay.
Now, as far as the jailbreak in KUJE prison, what the president said is very simple. There is a security agency that is in charge of that. At some point in time, there should be a synergy. Those agencies are supposed to gather information and know that, first of all, you cannot, okay, look, this is the contradiction. Let me even point out a contradiction before I even go ahead with what I'm saying. If the security situation has not improved, how come the prison was full of Boko Haram people that have been jailed there, and everybody is shouting the security situation has not improved? Nigerians need to sit down and step back and think, and then reason properly. Now, what he said is very simple. The security agencies are in charge of this, and they are supposed to coerce, they are supposed to liaise with themselves. That clearly is not what has happened. Why would such a sensitive place be broken into, and there is no response? He was talking about NDA. NDA is like a university. It does not have an armory. Even if it has an armory, it is not up to the grade of a defense college. It will not be able to defend itself. The defense of NDA depends on the garrisons that are around NDA. We need to be properly informed before we come out and say some of these things. How do you say NDA does not have armory?
Okay, but why we allow that?
Does not have armory? Do they train officers on camera?
Oga, if you don't know, ask. NDA is a training institution.
So how do you train a man on arm? Do you play video for him?
People that guard NDA are not even from NDA.
The question is that how do you train officers with arm in NDA? Do you play video for them? They are not
expected to carry weapons and go to school. They are there to learn.
Okay, Ahmed Mamadou.
Teach them weapons training.
Ahmed Mamadou,
we have military. You didn't get it clear. We have military information in NDA.
If you are saying NDA, that is the University of the Nigerian Army, is not having armory. I don't know where you want to have armory.
Bishop, let's allow that settle. Let's allow that settle. But I want your candid response to the massive reshuffle that Nigerians were expecting. you know, over the jailbreaks that have been happening, that the president seemed not to be doing. Aren't you worried? And Nigerians seem to be embarrassed by this.
There's no excuse for a jailbreak in the Federal Capital Territory. And there's no excuse for the inactivity that it is apparent to Nigerians because nobody is communicating it. It does not mean something is not going on. I'm not making any excuses for the government. That level of insecurity is entirely unacceptable. But we have to understand that there's a process and there must be a procedure. The panel has been set up to find out what exactly happened. At a point in time, they will now come out and tell you this is where the lapse is and this is where corrections have been made. And then definitely at that point in time, we expect to see heads roll. If heads are rolling now, it's on what basis? On basis of we don't like your face or the place you came from or you are not. On what basis are you going to roll the heads?
Ahmed Momodu, again, the president said that he for the 7 years of his administration, he has gone through tough times and that he is ready to quit. Do you see that as a statement of a defeatist statement?
No, don't misquote the president. What he said is he is ready to go and rest. He didn't say he's ready to quit. If he's ready to quit, all he needs to do is write a letter of resignation and hand it into the National Assembly. But what he's saying is that there has never been as much pressure on anybody who has held that office as there has been on President Muhammadu Buhari. And to his glory, he has handled that office very well. Now, let me make this very clear before we even jump into something else. The only reason that Nigerians we are at the point we are is because, fortunately, he quickly introduced Operation Go Back Home and everybody should go back into farming. The whole world has drawn to a standstill. The whole world is in a standstill. Financial, economic, food security is zero in the United States of America and all of the European countries that are surrounding us. Now, this man has brought us to the point where we are almost self-sufficient in food production. Even if he has not done anything else, I can list several other things he has done. Let's just leave it at that for now.
Thank you very much, Ahmed Momodu, for your articulation, for taking our time to be part of this discussion. And I want to thank you again for interrupting your sleep. And we do hope you have another opportunity to really be part of this show in our subsequent editions.
Thank you, Philip. Thank you, my co-discussant, Bishop.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get a round of points. Bishop Austin Igbasa, you heard what he said, and you're free to react.
First of all, there are questions, intelligence, about intelligence as he's spoken. Intelligence about this jailbreak was on ground, but it was not acted on. Soldiers were withdrawn 24 hours from KUJE prison. So I'm talking about action that can be taken. If I want to investigate you and you are a culprit in something that happened, and I leave you in your position to set up a panel, I've already given you the opportunity to influence my investigation. If you are heading a particular department, something is wrong there, and I left you there and I set up a panel to be inviting you, all the other junior officers under you who knew you are still their boss, their loyalty will be to you, and it will affect my investigation. That's why I'm not a party to it that by now head must not rule, because Kotokafe was broken, Edo was broken, Kogi was broken, Jos was broken. In all this jailbreak, what is it that has happened? A week before the jailbreak, the intelligence was around the place that, oh, for so reason, this place might be attacked. It was brought in. Then the people that were supposed to fortify the place, the president asked a question about the tower. Where is the person by the tower? Now they acted for 2.5 hours. How many people? You said they were throwing explosive. Thank you. We saw the explosive. But how many people died in the explosive? Then what level of resistance was given? Who are the people, the number of people that are supposed to be on duty at that particular place who were not? Now, if they were there, how did they try to resist the people? Because you cannot say people are resisting them. If they have resistance, it won't be that one person died and maybe 2 or 3 persons injured. We would have seen it. What has happened to the CCTV that so much money was made available for? Who allowed them to be using phone inside the place? We hear Gerard Dambazwa that mentioned the same thing. So I think we don't need to wait till Jesus comes before we'll be able to tell some persons that, oh, the intelligence that was available, you are supposed to act on it. What have you done about that? That one does not stop taking a decisive action. You know, even people who are your follower, they can read between the lines. Now, they can read between the lines that, oh, well, this thing happened, nothing will come out of it. Now, so we don't need to wait till Jesus comes to know what has really happened there.
So are you saying the panel that has been set up now might not yield any results?
The result is that you are still sitting in a place. You are culpable to what happened. Okay. And it has cost us loss of life. We are looking for, let me tell you one thing, out of the people that were condemned to death in Edo State here, how many of them were recovered back to
prison? So what do you not think is the way out?
The way out.
In case we not have subsequent outbreak.
We will not rule it out. Okay. There will be subsequent outbreak because
it is not prophecy.
It is not prophecy.
Okay, because I'm scared at that.
What do you not think is the way out?
It is not prophecy because this one was not something that happened suddenly. It was not something that happened suddenly. The attack that happened, it was not something that was planned in 24 hours. Now, the people are still there. Whether are still giving chance to email, to use phone, and you see, look at the lot of money that were looted from there. They took their time. Then the question is that what happened to other military formation? Why this was going on? Why was those officers removed from there? That was the military officers that were supposed to man the place. Why were they removed? Who ordered their removal? We should be talking about taking action on this. These are people, you must relieve them of their duty so that you will be able to have proper investigation.
Okay, thank you.
When somebody is still sitting on his seat, he will definitely influence whatever you want, any act of investigation you want to carry out.
Thank you.
We can be able to pinpoint 1, 2, 3 persons, you are hereby on suspension. Then we set up a panel. Everybody within that
an independent panel.
Independent panel, they will be able to do their work, and nobody will be showing loyalty to anybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bishop Austin Igbasan, for your articulation and activism. And we want to really say that we admire your contributions on this forum. And also, we have the opportunity to have you in our subsequent editions. Bishop Austin Igbasan is a human rights activist and a senior pastor of Sword of Liberation Bible Church. Well, that's the much we can take. And I believe, Daniels, you also says it on this discussion. Shortly, we'll be bringing you other segments. Do stay.